When I woke up this morning, found everything in place. The birds were singing pretty songs, the sun kissed me on my face. It feels so good to be alive, it feels so good to see the light. I got this sudden feeling like now's the time to start. I got a big idea in my head, I got a dream down in my heart. I'm praying that you'll help me now, I'm praying that you'll show me how.
My name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
Last year we sold our house and we're traveling across the country with our kids.
Hi, my name's Goose, and this is Maverick. Come join us!
Alright guys, actually my face is really dark here, hold on. There you go.
There you are, Peter.
Okay, we have made it to the destination. I alluded in the last video that this place was way better than the last place, but I mean, like, just take it in. I mean, you just saw a B-roll montage. You've seen how beautiful this place is, but tell me, what are your thoughts? How much more relaxed, less stressed do you feel here than at the last place?
A lot. It's so much better. So much better.
One of the things that we always talk about with RV life or traveling in general, even if you just go out for a few days or whatnot, is your ability to adapt and to roll with the punches. It was not our plan to be here. We had never even heard of this place. I was all excited about going to this OHV sand park where we could go off-roading, and then there was a lake there, Moses Lake, for the kids to play at, which in some rights was super cool, but we both agreed that the cons outweighed the pros, yeah? Especially for her, since she's not an off-road person.
Well, and it was hot, and you're bringing sand in, and the kids are always dirty, and people, like, it was just not safe. It did not feel safe. So I think that with having 2 extra kids, I wanted to know that the kids were safe. Like, 100%, didn't have to worry, and I did. That's the thing, I worried.
I think I mentioned it in the last video where we felt like we couldn't take our eyes off the girls, whether we were at the lake or up at the trailer. There was just no real safe spot. Versus here, especially since Grammy and Pops are here to help now, but like, I don't have any fear about them going out and running around. There have been, I think, a total of like 4 cars come down this road in the 2 days that we've been here. It has been so nice. So keep that in mind. That's what I really wanted to highlight in this video, is talking about how when you are traveling, you can plan, you can have a schedule, you can be very, very, very detailed oriented. Not anal, because that's a negative term, but detail oriented. But she has learned, I have learned, that you have to be able to adapt and roll with the punches. Otherwise, you're going to be frustrated that you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're going to be frustrated you didn't make it to where you're supposed to go, or that you missed out on one of the things that you really wanted to see. And so you have to be willing to adapt, roll with the punches, and be flexible.
It was parked out in the woods, keys still in the ignition. All the cops were buzzing from somebody's bad decision. Call everyone you know, we found the evidence. Just don't let them see you when you jump across the fence. Somebody stole a beer truck, it don't matter who it was. Grab a can and drink it up, best keep your mouth shut. Man, we're good to go, yeah, we hit the mother load. There's more than enough for all of us. Somebody stole a beer truck. Go splashing in the creek. You can get as rowdy as you damn near wanna be. We don't build a bonfire, we don't need that attention. Ain't nobody driving home, not in our condition. Somebody stole a beer truck, it don't matter who it was. Grab a can and drink it up, best keep your mouth shut. Man, we're good to go, yeah, we hit the mother load. There's more than enough for all of us. Somebody stole a beer truck. We parked it over here, we parked it over there. in the barn, yeah, we parked it everywhere. The party went on all night long, till all the beer was gone. Somebody stole a beer truck, it don't matter who it was. Grab a can and drink it up, let's keep your mouth shut. Man, we're good to go, yeah, we hit the mother load. There's more than enough for all of us. Somebody stole a beer truck. Somebody stole a beer truck. I'll back it on up, boys. Somebody stole a beer truck.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but we think we might have broken something. We're not sure yet, but like because of the deep sand, which was my fault. I went too deep in the sand. I messed up there. I've apologized to my family and myself for that, but it just was compounded by the fact that...
But it wasn't even that you needed to apologize. Like, there was no apology necessary. Everybody makes mistakes. Like,
yeah.
I wasn't the one driving in, so I wouldn't have known either.
But,
he hit a campfire. Like, he didn't see it. He hit it. That's kind of life, you know?
But I just felt bad. I feel like I should have... Anyways, but it was just compounded by...
It made a great story.
It was a memory. We made a memory that we will not forget. It may not be a good memory, but we made a memory. Mm-hmm. But it was compounded by the environment. The college town kind of sit back and watch, not care about anybody else.
Didn't help. No one offered to help. Like, you had to ask.
We're complaining a lot. Let's not complain. Let's not complain.
Well, it was just because... I think it was because I was hyping up the RV community about how helpful everybody is. Like, everybody's there for one another. And then all of a sudden we're sitting there like trying to dig out. Like, literally all of our kids have a Frisbee or like tire.
The chalk for digging out the sand.
We were digging out sand. And they literally sat there and had drinks in their hand watching us. I'm going... You can't offer or like see if there's something you could do. Like,
they did move their van, but I had to ask.
Thank you. Yeah.
And they didn't offer that. Anyways, but to contrast that, to say the reason you want to be adaptable and flexible is we came here after we found this location, which was still on our route to our final destination, which you'll learn about next time in our next video. But as soon as we got here, sweet guy who was
restored
not even
our belief in humanity.
He wasn't even van lifing, he was Subaru lifing. He was camping in his Subaru out here, and there's only a handful of spots out here. They're all kind of makeshift, but he's like, hey, do you need me to move? I gladly move over here because you guys have the big rigs, you can easily... Super nice. And even after we denied it, he's like, are you sure? Like, he kept offering until we got... Super nice guy.
Super sweet.
And then we met the people who killed the rattlesnake, which I think you guys might have seen already, that were very chill, like, and they were even of that younger demographic. Where, you know, the college age, whatever, is what we were just talking negative about at the Moses Lake. But like super nice guys, took pictures with the kids and whatnot. Anyway, so that is the kind of travel, the RV lifers that we love.
And it just kind of makes you step back, because I won't lie, I was in a bad space. I'm like, that was really frustrating. What is going on? And we get here and I look, I'm like, why is that car parked in the biggest spot? Like, what is going on? And then he comes out and offers, I'm like, oh, Ashley, like, stop being a butt. Like, just...
I didn't say it.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, sometimes you just have to tell yourself, stop being a stinker pants and like, be kind, because you never know what people are like. And when I saw the teenagers, I'm like, oh, my Lanta teenagers. And then I'm like, wow, Ash, like...
Judgmental,
Stop. Like,
geez.
I know. I am all about, like, when I tell Goose and Maverick, I'm like, we don't judge people based on, you know, their age.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
And all this stuff. And then here I was, because I was in a bad mood. That's what I did. And man, I felt horrible. So if by chance you guys are watching this that were here, I'm so sorry. Like, I was in a bad space, and I know I didn't say anything to you and I was kind to you, but like, shouldn't have judged you. I shouldn't have judged you at first.
I feel like this has turned into a rant video.
It was.
So.
But I'm like, it's more of like self-reflection, I think. It was a self-reflection of like, I was a bum. Or as they call it, a bum nugget.
So like I was trying to say, main point that I want to make in this video is when things aren't going wrong, or when things aren't going wrong, when things aren't going right, when you think you might have broken something or you're just getting frustrated, like I was trying to like relax, tell myself to calm down, be flexible. Worst case scenario, I mean, it sucks. We break the truck, we get it fixed, we have AAA, we'll get, you know, we'll figure it out, trying to relax, because when you get in that heightened state, it makes everything worse. So you have to be able to relax.
And yelling at each other isn't gonna do anything.
And I know that I can talk a talk, but I don't always follow this. Like I don't always, so do as I say, not as I do. And then just being adaptable and flexible, because I wasn't as excited to be here. I was like, I mean, I guess it could be okay, but we got here, and man, so much better.
And I feel like you did great. Like we both were trying to stay positive because we have the kiddos.
Yeah.
And you know, you want to show them that when things go wrong, you don't just instantly flip on a bad attitude. Not that we didn't inside have the bad attitudes, but you have to, you know, change it, look at the good, and he did amazing. You would have never guessed that he was upset. Like you could see he was frustrated.
I didn't even tell her to say this.
I know. You could see that he was frustrated. You could, but that was it. And rightfully so. You're allowed to be frustrated, but you keep it together, and yelling at each other's not going to do anything. You know, if he was yelling or I was yelling, that's not going to get our trailer out.
Yeah.
It's just going to cause problems. So, I mean, I feel like we did okay. I think this is the one instance where we handled a tough situation pretty well, because we don't always do that, which is why I say do as I say, not as I do, but I feel like we handled it pretty well. I think I was just mostly, I was hot and uncomfortable, and then I was more uncomfortable because people just were watching me digging the sand.
But it was, I think it helped that we took a moment and we literally, even though we were in the middle of being stuck, we just stopped and we just took a second to pray. Like we just calmed down and like, you know what, like I'm getting frustrated, I'm getting anxious, you know what, Lord, just help us out in this time. Give us the peace that we need, whether or not the trailer gets out. Obviously I prayed for it to get out, but whether or not it happens, just let us relax, because I can't always do it on my own. Sometimes I need some help. So I think in that case, that sometimes just turning and taking a second to pray sometimes helps.
And I won't lie, I was a little annoyed that you changed our hitch right before we left. I won't lie. I'm like, seriously, we're trying out a new hitch?
I don't know if I've even done it. Reviewed
sorry.
it. Uh-oh.
Oops,
but they probably already seen it.
Yeah.
Anyways. But we haven't reviewed it yet.
So I was a little mad. I wasn't mad. I was annoyed. I'm like, really? Why? Why do we need to do that? And now I am so glad. I am so glad that you changed it.
It's a much heavier duty hitch.
I don't think
before.
our old hitch would have made it.
Anyways, that's enough ranting and raving. Let's go explore this awesome place. Unless you had anything else to say. Any other? I didn't mean to cut you off.
You cut me off. You're so rude, and now I don't like people like you. Gosh,
right.
It's because you turned your hair
We're gonna
back.
go hike and explore.
Not hair.
Have you been playing with the squirt guns today?
Yeah.
Okay. You can squirt the trailer, but not me, all right?
I'm digging for something else on a swap.
Okay, go ahead. And squirt. Not me? No, you better not. You better not. You better not.
I have a better idea.
Absolutely not. All right, we ready to go explore? There's this barn that was built, I think around 1930, 1940, I can't remember exactly, we'll figure out when we get out there, but it should be pretty cool. And unfortunately the bummer is there used to be an old homestead here that was built around the same time, but in 98, it burned down in a wildfire or something like that. So really bummed that we don't get to check out that, because that would have been cool. But either way, we're gonna take the kids out, go for a little walk. I wouldn't really call today a hike because I can see our destination. So if you can get there within 5 minutes, I don't know if that counts as a hike. But either way, we're gonna get out, get some exercise, and enjoy this beautiful weather today. Ooh, Mom's got her Star Wars shirt
put it
on.
away, please, because I don't want to have to bring
I
it.
love that shirt, babe. Is that the one we got at Star Wars? Is that the one we got at Disney, or where'd you get that one at? That shirt.
None of us want to
Got it at Disney.
Check out that sturdy rock foundation, you guys. Legitimately just rocks balanced on each other. There's even a little tiny 1-inch shim rock right there. That's the foundation. I don't think that would pass code today for some reason. Oh, it's so cool seeing that. That reminds me of when we were in the Smoky Mountains and the church had a similar rock foundation like that, only probably like 4 rocks high. It was pretty cool. I'll link that up there if you guys are interested in that, our Great Smoky Mountains vlog. That was pretty intense seeing some of that stuff, the old structures, the log cabins and churches and whatnot. Very cool. How does this place compare to Moses Lake?
It's a lot better.
Yeah?
A lot better. I went for you, honey, but yeah. I'm glad we came here. Apparently this was bought in 1941 and they farmed it for like 7 years. But what we like to see is like, how authentic is it? But I feel like this is not 40s bricks.
Yeah, they obviously upgraded the foundation and whatnot.
And then it had like,
the tar
shingles and things like that. Which maybe they were ahead of their time, or maybe that was a thing then and I don't know it. But it's really cool to just look and see like when they started upgrading or whatever, if they did, and like what they did to try and make sure that the building stayed structurally sound. Not that it really looks structurally sound right now, but
it might leak a little bit up here. Myrna was reading on the original sign that the homestead was originally built in around the 1910, so early turn of the century, but then in the 1941 the new owners bought this, and that's when this barn was built in 1940. So this barn has been here for 80 years now. That's a crazy amount of time, but I can't.
We're working on not being afraid to be out here right now.
Yeah, when we first got here there was a rattlesnake that some other people had found and killed.
Thank you for letting us pet it and take pictures and yeah.
A giant group dandelion.
I'm out of breath. Me too. A little lightheaded. Me too.
So these kind of views are why I like to travel and go around. I mean, look at this. We got this gorgeous little pond thing back here, and just seeing the history, like these old dilapidated fences and whatnot. This is why I like to go out there and travel. I mean, obviously I wouldn't want to live here, but being able to come and explore these kind of areas and see these kind of areas, this is why I like to travel. It's just going around and finding these spots that we had never ever heard of, that you would never go to otherwise if you would not have found this on your route randomly. Very cool. This is why I travel. All right, we found an egg and Grammy's gonna see what's inside. It's long dead, so we're not like being inhumane or anything.
Stay here, please.
Oh, it's baby.
It does almost look like a plant though.
Looks like a seed.
Yeah, it looks like a plant. 'Cause
Okay.
that's like a stem thing.
Do you have something to break it open?
No? Use your fingernails.
No, don't break it. How about if
Well,
I
it's not gonna grow. It's dead, whatever it is, plant or animal.
It's gooey. Oh, it's hard. Feel it. Oh.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and just
What
set
is
that down. If anybody has any idea whether that be plant or egg, and then what kind of, let us know in the comments, because we have no idea. So this looks like the original foundation of the house right here, and you can tell some of the fence near it has burnt down, so I definitely think that this is where the original homestead was. This cannot be that much bigger than 10 by 20, something like that. So think RV life size trailers, 10 by 200 square feet basically. So they had a little 200 square foot house, and then they had their barn there, and then the second little barn, living out here in the middle of nowhere. I was talking to the kids about this earlier. How would you like to be out here? You have hundreds of acres out here where you have cattle roaming, you're plowing the fields and whatnot, and you are in charge of your survival. You are in charge of growing your own food, getting your own meat, and then selling and trading for the other things that you can't do yourself. But in order to do those trades, you have to travel miles and miles. And not in an air-conditioned vehicle, mind you, but back in the day when you had horses, that was your fastest mode of transportation. It is so humbling to think about our ancestors that lived this way and what they had to do and what they did do to survive. And owning your own land out here wasn't like something that people were forced upon. This was like a privilege that people did the Oregon Trail for, that people traveled and died for to come out here. So thinking about what we take for granted and what they worked so hard for, it is very humbling to think about the things that we complain about and the things that we whine about that they would love. Anyways, that's what I was trying to talk to the girls about earlier. Of course, you know, they're 7 and 8 and 3, so they're like, whatever, Dad. But I'm trying to instill that in them because it is humbling to me to think about that, because I am guilty. I take that stuff for granted. I complain about the little things and whatnot. And whenever you want to complain about something, maybe your air conditioning in your car isn't working. Maybe you are hungry and you don't have that snack food that you want, so you're forced to eat something from the back of the cupboard. Just think about these guys, and you will all of a sudden appreciate your life a whole lot more. The cousins have prepared a performance for us, so they are about to put on an amazing show. Are you guys ready? I have just been informed that the play is called The Non-Forgettable Birthday.
Let's fly to the city to grab some supplies for some supplies. Let's go.
I was expecting a musical performance, but this is a legit play, like acting. And look at this, they've even got backdrops. They've got scene changes. This is pretty legit, guys.
Well, I think Sammy earlier today, she wanted to take you to the movie theater. She wanted to take you to the movie theater? Yeah. Okay, bye.
The best that I can.
Mommy's cooking taters. Got some gravy up on here. Smells good, Mommy. Thank you. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys haven't subscribed, be sure to do so, because we have a super exciting vlog coming up next time. As always, guys, remember, stay positive even when you get stuck in the sand and you have to change your plans. Be flexible,
Yes.
Get out there. Life is an adventure. So make some memories. Alright, who didn't put more toilet paper on when they finished the last roll? Ash?